Hey everybody, welcome to another Legion Live, where good old Normina and myself are going to talk about something that hopefully is valuable. So Norm, you're back in Canada and I'm back home. Where have we been the past couple weeks?
Oh man, powwow, Miami powwow, great event. I ended up in Edmonton at the Edmonton Sellers Conference, which was great as well. And then you were somewhere else.
Yes, I was down in Orange Beach at that Confluence retreat, but we saw each other in Miami.
Right.
What was a big takeaway you had from Miami?
I don't know, that our beards connect. It was like kind of like Velcro, and we couldn't rip them apart.
That is disgusting. Now there's like 82 people not watching us on. Like, did Norm just say y'all's beards stick together? And no, the truth is, it's too humid in Miami. Our beards were so fluffy they didn't actually stick together. They just got tangled and frizzy.
Like there was a lot of stuff that there was a ton of topics that were pretty interesting, but it came back to the vendor side and going over to the sellers and walking around and just talking to everybody and getting to know people. I got a ton of new contacts out of it. So I go back to the networking. It's always the best part of any conference.
Was there any big relationship or takeaway that you got specifically?
Yeah, again, it comes back to a couple of people that have come back and said, hey, would you be interested in, working with us or working with their brand? The Walmart side. So I presented Walmart, and there was a ton of people that were interested in hearing more about it. So I think that's where we're going to be able to, work with a few new people, and it's great. And Dima was up there rocking it again. And,
I love how Dima gets up on stage and just pure sales pitch for Seller Rise. All right. So today we want to talk about some free tools, free resources, not really like tips or tricks or hacks that we love to talk about. But, in our normal daily operations, we come across these things. Looking at my other screen, in my Google Notes, I've got a whole list of things just called cool services and tools, where when people mention stuff, we jot them down. None of these are specifically related to Amazon. Some of them are not even related specifically to e-commerce, but Norm and I wanted to share some of these because, frankly, they're helpful and they're things that we've kind of figured out. So we're just going to kind of take turns. The goal today was to have 5. We're probably going to have more than 5, though. So Norm, if you want to kick it off with one of your tools that you want to share.
Sure.
And I'll try to keep up on jotting some of these down. Make sure that all of you, that's not what I want to hit the wrong thing. Make sure that all of you that are not members of our Facebook group join the free Facebook group, Private Label Legion. And Norm, let's get started.
Okay. So probably the number one tool in our arsenal would be Loom. Loom, just video. Like we communicate with Loom video, and we do that for our SOPs. We do that for any project managers or anybody on the team, just so we can explain exactly what we need. And you're allowed to edit it, so it's great. You can't beat a free tool that gives you the type of capabilities that Loom gives you.
And it's also good for building SOPs because I suck at writing down SOPs, but I can actually do a Loom video of me doing something. I'm kind of narrating as I'm doing it. And then we have a VA that can turn that into an SOP. So the first one, Loom. And for those of you that are from maybe have seen it, like someone sent you a Loom video, it's free. It goes into your Google Chrome plugin area box up there, whatever the heck that thing's called. And it works great. So make sure you're utilizing that. One that I really like, and I have to hide this, and sorry guys, I'm trying to edit all this up. And I know that this sounds super, super elementary and super basic, and you're going to be like, why is Tim talking about this? Well, it's because I look like an idiot sometimes and I don't use it. And that is Grammarly. Look, Grammarly, I actually misspelled Grammarly.
I was just going to say, you misspelled Grammarly.
Grammarly. I think that's it. Look, prime example. I don't even know if there's an E in there. I have no idea. But this is why I need it. No, I misspelled it again. Watch, I just checked. Let me change it. Grammarly.
There you go.
Man, if I couldn't have given you a better example than that, Grammarly. Now, I use this for a lot of things, but from emails to writing copy. But one thing that I like to do is I like to actually copy and paste competitors' listing attributes. All right. So bullet points, titles, descriptions, plug it into Grammarly and see what misspellings they have. The reason for that is we know there's a lot of keyword opportunities for misspelled keywords, but sometimes they're not intuitive. They're hard to find. So we can actually find our successful competitors' misspellings that they're targeting by running Grammarly, which gives like these blatant, bold highlights, says misspelling, misspelling, misspelling. And we can go and find out if they're just idiots and misspelled these words, or if they figured out keyword opportunities that we didn't know based on misspellings and grammar. The other thing that I like to do is when I'm writing a listing and writing a bullet points or description, I'll plug it into Grammarly and make sure it's not too crazy, right? It's never going to be grammatically perfect because we're trying to focus on keywords and things like that, but just make sure it's not a complete dumpster fire. So definitely use Grammarly for research and to make sure you're not doing something too boneheaded.
The other thing that Grammarly does is it gives you a tone. So if you're writing something that's fairly casual, or if you want it more business related, it'll rate the tone of your emails, which is kind of cool.
Yep. All right. What's your next tool?
All right. You know what? I was going to say something else, but this just happened. I got a message from the team, Lastpass.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Lastpass is it's a keyword. It's a keyword app, and you can store everything in there. It's free. I still use the free version, and I just send out, and I still can share all my passwords with everybody. And let's say that somebody leaves the company. I can easily go in and just delete all the access to my passwords to that people. Nobody sees my password. But if I need them to go into my Facebook profile or do whatever, they can just easily just launch and they get right in there.
Love it. And it's also good for very disorganized people that tend to lose their passwords. And you know what's funny is someone was recently telling me about LastPass, I think it was yesterday, to use for legal purposes. I think the context is like in case you die, right? You've got logins for bank information, for your Google Drives, all this stuff. You should actually put your LastPass master password like in a safe somewhere or with your attorney, something like that, because not only will it have the passwords to log into stuff, but it's like a good repository of things that people might want, right? Like if you die, your spouse needs to know what bank accounts, and I'm speculating here that people's spouses or their kids or even their parents don't know everything that they're doing in business, which is like my case. So if someone logged into my LastPass, they'd be like, oh crap, he has a subscription here. He has a bank account over here. He utilizes this service here. He has information here. So LastPass is a good repository just to keep that stuff tracked. So I like that one. All right. Another one I like is onpallet.com. That's not it. Sorry, I'm hitting the wrong button. Onpallet.com. And what this does is it's a calculator to figure out the best way to stack pallets for maximized efficiency. Okay. Now, the reason this is important is a price per pallet is basically the same regardless of whether it's full or empty. There are some exceptions, but like a 40 by 42 pallet that's 3 feet high is going to cost you the same to ship as 6 feet high. And what's interesting is there are ways to maximize the way in which those are packed to get the most number of units per pallet. So typically what happens when we're getting our stuff like from China is they just ship it in whatever size box they want, quantity box they want. We accept it and we try to fit it on the pallet the best that we can. But a lot of times I'll pack a pallet and I'll have like 3 inches on two sides and 6 inches on two sides. Well, I can actually use this on pallet free calculator and figure out if they changed my box dimensions, what's the actual perfect box dimension to maximize this pallet. And what I've been able to do sometimes is increase the number of units per pallet by like 15 or 20% just by changing dimensions of box to fit more appropriately on a pallet, which is pretty stinking cool. But you have to do the calculations before production to make sure that your case and carton dimensions are appropriate for that maximization on a pallet. I like that one.
Okay. Yeah, this is one. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, Tim, but Onetab.
No.
Okay, this is really cool. It's a Chrome extension, and I don't know about you, but sometimes you got 20 tabs open, right? And you don't want to close tabs, or you want to bookmark things, and you're afraid to close it because you'll forget what page you're on. One-Tab closes everything down and gives you a fresh start, and then you just click the tab and you can go back and like whatever you want, refresh it, and it just cleans up everything. So like I'm looking at this now, I can close down all the web browser. It'll be logged in as today's basic history, and then I can go back and just refresh whatever I want the next day. And so I might have 10 or 12 days or a month or a year there, and I can just go back and say, oh yeah, that one web page I was on, go back, you can see it right away and click on it. And there's so many times that you have 3 or 4 or 5 different tabs open with new apps or new services that you want to bookmark, but you just don't have time to. So I just one-tab it.
Yeah, that's true. And the problem with bookmarking it is it's not as quick as just bookmarking, because you got to put it in the right folder.
Yeah.
This is like an intermediary saving of the bookmark, right? Yeah.
And you've got like a million other things open. So you might have your Gmail, the Drive, the calendar, Facebook, LinkedIn, and 10 other things plus those. So you can easily refresh it. So you can close it down, fresh start, and then bring the 3 or 4 or whatever you just closed back up later on.
Yeah, I like that. And it's like when I'm in different work modes, I have 10 different pages up, right? So if I'm in Amazon product research mode, there's 10 different websites. If I'm in admin mode, it's different. So what you're telling me is I could actually like build groups in one tab where I can just click one button and pull up everything that I was working on. Mm-hmm. That's great, because I always close stuff and then forget it, which is awesome. That's a good one. I like one tab. The last one that I have for today, because we do have a little bit of a restriction on time. Oh, look, Cassandra Cravens is calling.
Well, you better pick it up.
You have an answer?
Maybe she has a...
Hi, Cassandra. You're on speakerphone right now on Allegiant Live with Norm and I. How are you?
Hi, Cassandra.
Oh, my gosh. Hello. Thank you. That's wonderful to hear.
Can you hear her, Norm?
I can hear her perfectly.
So, Cassandra, we are talking about some of the best free like tools or resources that we use in our business. We've talked about things like Grammarly and Loom and OnPallet and Onetab. What is one of your favorite business-related tech tools that you like to use that you can share with us? Free tool every day.
I would say Airtable is one of my favorite free tools. It is a calendaring system, but you can customize it to any of your needs, completely shareable with internal and external teams. Highly recommend Airtable.
Airtable. There it is. Good one. It sounds too difficult for me to get organized, though. So were you calling to have like a super personal conversation and gripe about life and, tell me you're having a bad hair day? Because we can talk about that right now live.
No, we can definitely table the conversation that I originally had. Is it just Norm on the call, or is there other people?
We're on Facebook Live on like 6 groups.
Okay, we can table that conversation for later. Thank you so much for letting me make a cameo on this Facebook Live. We will talk soon.
All right. See you, Cassandra.
Yeah, Cassandra.
All right. So the last tool that I like this is a crazy one. And this is, just follow me down this rabbit trail for a second. This is one that Destiny Washawn actually showed me that was like game changer. Let me make sure I'm spelling this right. Crystal Knows. It's crystalknows.com. Have you seen this, Norm?
Nope.
Ooh, it's crazy. What it does is it uses social media information to create profiles about people. Okay. And what this is for business meetings. If you're calling a supplier, if you're talking to a potential service provider, if you're trying to pitch somebody, it doesn't matter. Like even if you don't have just a service-based businesses where you have to make sales, let's say that you are trying to reach out to somebody and get information on, I don't know, a sourcing project, right? Let's do this. Let's pick on Awful Lobby for a second.
All right.
So let's say you're reaching out to a sourcing asset, right? Someone you want to source your products. Check this out. Let me see if I can share my screen. Yes. So screen 2 and entire screen 2. Let me make sure. All right, where to go? Okay. What I do, you can see my screen, right?
Yep.
All I do is I pull them up in LinkedIn, and I get this is a Google Chrome extension. It pops up this little thing, view personality. And what it does is it tells me a lot about his personality, right?
Okay.
Fast-paced, goal-oriented, direct, brevity, and efficiency. But when I scroll down here, I like that it gives me actual behavior information. He may push back on some stuff. He's natural at telling others how he can improve their performance, negotiating for better price. That's nice from a sourcing agent, speaking directly and bluntly. And then it gives me instructions. When you're emailing him, express yourself with confidence. Avoid unnecessary small talk. Avoid dragging it out. When I'm meeting with him, I can skip over pleasantries and get into business, communicate in direct and assertive way, and be on time to the meeting, right? The things that stress him out, missing deadlines, opening up emotionally, people blindly supporting others. When speaking to him, stay focused and on point. Ask about his ambitions. Be direct when you disagree. Does this sound like Alpha Lobby?
Yeah, it's great.
It's crazy how accurate this is. So I can pull up nearly anybody. In fact, no, I'm not going to pull up Cassandra. I was about to. Let's pull up Norm.
Oh, God.
Norm, can we pull you up?
Yeah, it'll probably say, I don't even want to see what it says.
Well, my point is this thing is like crazy accurate, but it's valuable, right? Oh, look, Norm is generally a moderate influencer, charisma, may lack patience. Okay, so if someone was thinking about using Norm and PR reach and they were having a meeting with Norm, you can use this free tool and go in and find out in a meeting. Send a reminder to Norm the day before.
That's true.
Interesting stories. Norm loves to hear stories. Encourage Norm to share his thoughts. He's motivated by fun and excitement, adventure, and storytelling. Norm hates rules. No, he doesn't hate, but strict rules and structure are draining to him. Being overly cautious will frustrate him and make him lose momentum, right? When speaking to Norm, listen and engage with his stories, use diagrams, switch up the subject to keep things interesting. I've cheated, Norm, and I've read yours before, and this thing is like deadly accurate. Crazy. So it's completely free. And regardless of what type of business you're in, guys, even if you're just a normal old brand seller, you've got to communicate and interact with other people sometime in your life. So make sure that in that business, you are interacting with those people to get a good sense of how you should be communicating with them, what type of things they like to hear, all that stuff.
And is it just an app that you download?
It's a free app at crystalknows.com.
Okay.
They have other services too, but you can find the free LinkedIn plugin that goes in the Google store. I think you can download it from Google Play.
Oh, okay. Very good. Yeah, I'll check
Pretty
that
cool,
out.
right, Norm?
Yeah, I'm going to check you out.
You should. Let's see what happens. All right, you got one more freebie, Norm?
Yeah. There's actually two. I won't get into it. It kind of self-explanatory, but it's draw.io. I think there might be a small charge for it, but it's good for flow charts. I know you like using it. I love using it. And another real simple one, if you want to take screenshots or snapshots, is Jing, which is free, which allows you to do some video too. And if you want to upgrade, I've upgraded. I use Snagit like daily, probably 10 times a day. And so I use that along with Loom. So those are probably the two most used tools in my arsenal.
So I just had to change the title. There weren't now 8 free tools you need.
There we go. So that's
8 free tools.
Yeah.
All right. For those of you that are watching this, I would love to hear what some of your favorite tools are. So if you've watched this live and you want to comment very quickly, if you're watching a replay on Facebook, Make sure to comment about the free tools that you like. And if you're watching this on YouTube, which we always take these from the YouTube videos, and they usually drop on Thursday, I think. Comment in the YouTube section about what with some of your suggestions for free tools. So that's it. That's all we got, Norm.
All right.
Well, thank you all for being on. And if someone wanted to get involved in the community, Norm, where could they find us?
They can go over to our Facebook group at Private Label Legion. They can check us out on YouTube, and we've got a growing YouTube community. It's crazy how fast it's growing, but that's just look for Private Label Legion there as well. And you can always go to our website, privatelabellegion.com.
All right. Thank you all for being on. We'll see you next week.
See you.